Hi everyone, it's Elise and welcome to my channel, Elise Between the Ears. If this is your first time, welcome and thank you for stopping by. If you are a return visitor, welcome back and thank you again. To start off, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has been watching my videos and who have subscribed. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. And thank you for all the great comments that you make as well. I really appreciate it. And that's for you guys. Today I was thinking about Galaxies Edge opening up at Disneyland and Galaxies Edge opening up at Disney World in August. And I was thinking about the differences they're going to have, or the things that are going to be different in each park. And it made me start thinking about different rides that are at Disneyland and Walt Disney World that are the same, but the differences between them, and actually who did it better. Was it Disneyland or Disney World? So I wanted to go over a few of the rides that I've gone on, and these are rides that I've gone on with at both Disneyland or Disney World. And I'm only doing the rides that I've gone on in both parks, because it wouldn't be fair to judge a ride that I've been on at Disneyland but not Disney World and vice versa. So anyway, let's get started. So the first one I want to talk about is Small World. I've been on it at both parks, and the one at Disney World, it's nice, but to me, in my opinion, the facade isn't great. It has kind of the same facade as the exterior of the one at Disneyland, but it's more like what do you call it, when it's like it's against the wall, so it's more like an art piece than an actual exterior of a building. And the ride inside seems the same, but it doesn't have the characters that they've added at Disneyland. So now at Disneyland you have that beautiful exterior with the clock and the little children that come out at every quarter hour and or every half hour, and then you have the exterior lit up. At Christmas time, it's got to be one of the most beautiful scenes at a Disney park. And in the inside, they've added, like I said, the characters throughout the different rides. And at first I was kind of against it because I don't like messing up classics, but the way they did it, they didn't just like put him there, so it's like, yeah, here I am, a character from Disneyland or Disney whatever. But they just kind of put it in classic scenes, and it's not just like I said, here I am, but they just kind of sneak them in here and there, and it's almost like a treasure hunt, trying to find them, because sometimes they're so subtle that you don't even know that they're there unless you're really looking for it. I mean, if you're not really paying attention, you can go by a scene excuse me, you can go by a scene and not even know that you passed a character. So I think with Small World, Disneyland definitely has the better version, and they did it better than Disney World. Disney World, to me, seems like they kind of cut corners a little bit. I mean, it could be because they wanted it inside, so it's not so hot to stand in line, because the one at Disneyland, they have to stand outside before going into the building. The second one I want to talk about is the Haunted Mansion. Now this one's kind of tough because there's so many elements that I like about both of them at both parks. With the Disneyland version, it's in more of like a New Orleans style mansion. In Disney World, it's more like a mansion. It doesn't really make sense, but I like, there's different elements of both of them that I really like. With the one at Disneyland, I kind of like the fact that you're actually dropping down into the ground and it's not really stretching up, while at Disney World the room is actually stretching, and so that's really a cool aspect of it. I like at Disneyland how you have to walk down the corridor and you have the lightning and everything and the rain on the windows, but then you have the pictures on the other side. As you pass them, they're changing, but it's so crowded that you're just like stuck in there like sardines. And as the room or the walkway gets more and more narrow, as you start to get close to the dune buggies, it's, you know, gets tighter and tighter. And if you don't have like your family or friends or whatever right close to you, you can actually get split apart. So it's kind of scary with kids. You have to make sure you have their hand tight. But being able to walk past and get real close to those statues that will watch you and follow you is really cool as well. But I do like at the Disney World Haunted Mansion, it has a great exterior. You have so much going on as you're going through the cube. With Disneyland, you don't. It's very plain and boring. It's just going back and forth through a gate on a pretty empty lawn, while at Disney World you have kind of interactive things. That's really fun. And I also like once you get in and you get through the stretching room, you like get onto the ride relatively quickly, and you're still passing the same kind of elements as you do in the Disneyland one, but you're already in your dune buggy. So I do like that aspect of it. So, I mean, they're both really well done. Who did it better? It's hard to say, but with the Haunted Mansion, I think I'm gonna go with Disney World, that they did it a little better. Maybe because they had a little bit more time to plan it. I'm not sure, but I think Disney World did the Haunted Mansion better. Okay, the next one is the Pirates of the Caribbean. Now, this is also really, really close, but, well, maybe not too close. The exterior of the one at Disneyland, it's kind of odd. It's just in front of a building, which is, you know, the top is the gallery. Well, actually, it's Walt Disney's apartment now, the Dream Suite. And then in front of that, you have like kind of lines that twist and turn, and then you get right into the building and then go back and forth. I mean, it's not a very exciting queue, and it's very kind of tight. While at Disney World, you go in and, you know, it's quite well open, and you have a lot of room as you go down, and it's very themed right from the beginning. It's very themed as you go down into the ride. So that's a plus. Now, when you're on the ride at Disneyland, I really like how you go past the Blue Bayou with the people eating dinner, and everything's, you know, it looks like nighttime at the restaurant, and you get to kind of see people and they wave to you. And then there's the little bayou scene with the guy on sitting on his porch, and then you start going into it, and you don't have just one, but you have 2 drops, and they're pretty significant drops. I really like that. While at the Disney World one, you only have 1 drop. It's not very big. It's just kind of a little bloop, and then you're into the ride. The one at Disney World seems a little shorter than the one at Disneyland, and before you know it, you're done at the one at Disney World. Wow, it's literally like 20 minutes of a ride at Disneyland. So I've got to say, I think because the one at Disneyland is the original, the exterior is not great, but the 2 drops really make it for me. I've always loved that part. When I was little, it really kind of got me excited, a little nervous when I went down those 2 drops. So I have to say, for Pirates of the Caribbean, I believe, in my opinion, that Disneyland did it better. Okay, number 4 on my list is the Winnie the Pooh ride. I think that's just the name of the ride, Winnie the Pooh. Now that originated in Disney World, and then they brought it over to Disneyland. I'm not sure of the year. I can put that below here, but the exterior at Disneyland is definitely better than the exterior at Disney World. Again, I believe it's probably at Disney World they want more shade or whatever. Most of the rides, or a lot of the rides, have more of a building look to it. There's not really much there. There is some like interactive things for the kids as they go through, if I can remember correctly. But the one at Disneyland has a really great exterior. It used to be where the Country Bear Jamboree was, and so you have a lot of trees because it's in Critter Country. You walk across this old time type bridge, and then you have the line. And then at the end of the one at Disneyland, you get off and there's a little path, and it goes right into the little candy shop and little gift shop, which I love because I want the little treats that they have in there. It's a great little shop, and it just leads you right into it. It's perfect. But when it comes to the actual ride, I believe that Disney World did do it better, because you go in, you kind of just are going along, and then when it talks about Tigger, you kind of bounce. When the rain comes, you kind of swirl back and forth. And I think there's another aspect in it, but you're doing different things as you're going through the story. But in the one at Disneyland, it's the same thing. It's that motion of when, like, you're on water and you're kind of swaying back and forth, and that's the way it is the whole time. I believe it's actually shorter time-wise at Disneyland than Disney World, but I'm not sure. In my opinion, I believe that Disney World did Winnie the Pooh ride better than at Disneyland. The 5th one I want to talk about today is kind of tricky, because it's the Tower of Terror, and they still have the Tower of Terror at Walt Disney World, but they don't have the Tower of Terror in California Adventure anymore. They replaced it with Guardians of the Galaxies Mission Breakout. But I have been on both of them when they were Tower of Terror, and I've also been on it since it's been Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. So I thought I'd go ahead and talk about it, because it is kind of the same, well, it's the same ride even though it's not the same ride. Does that make sense? Anyway, so Tower of Terror. You've got the exterior on both of them were pretty close to the same look and style. Inside the queue, when you're going through it, it was very similar. You had like the old deserted hotel look. The office that, or study where you watched the black and white Twilight Zone intro was pretty much the same. The main difference was the actual ride. So Tower of Terror and California Adventure, even though it was fun and we did enjoy it, it really lacked the imagination and creativity that the one at Disney World has. It just was basically an up and down ride where it takes you up and then it drops you, and there's a series of drops, while the one at Disney World, you actually go up and leave the elevator shaft and go down the hall, and then there's things going on and it gets black, and when that line splits and it gets pitch black, I mean, that whole thing is just a cool experience, and you're so immersed in like the Twilight Zone and everything that's going on. While even though they did have some really cool effects at the California Adventure one, it just wasn't the same. Then they changed it to Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, which is, like I said, it's a very fun ride, very energetic, but it's still technically just an up and down type of a ride. It's not as immersive, and it's literally not taking you through the ride like the one at Disney World, taking you out of the elevator shaft into the experience. And so I believe, in my opinion, that Disney World did Tower of Terror better, and I'm so glad it's still there, that we have to enjoy it, and that they didn't change that into the Guardians of the Galaxy. 6 is the Buzz Lightyear ride, and I can't remember the actual name of it. I think it's Astro Blasters or something like that. I'll put it down here. But they're so similar. Like, the buildings they're in both parks are pretty much the same. The experience and actual ride through is pretty much the same. The only difference is, I believe it's Disneyland, that you can actually take the blaster itself out of the holster and move it around free, while the one at Disney World is stationary, and all you can do is just move it back and forth and up and down. You can't actually take it out and move it. So because of that fact, I give it to Disneyland for being more user-friendly. So there you have it, my opinion of who did it better, Disneyland or Disney World, with 7 of my favorite rides. So anyway, I hope you liked that. I had fun thinking about this. What is your favorite ride at Disneyland and Disney World, and who do you think did it better? Let me know below by commenting, and we'll have, get a conversation going. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you like this kind of content, also comment below and I will do more. Please subscribe and push that bell notification, because when the next video comes out, then you can see it. And I hope you have a great day and a great week, and I'll see you later. Bye!